Hello. Welcome, guys. Welcome to this amazing conversation today. I'm super pumped for the conversation we're going to be having with my amazing friend, Itofa Ivarah, the founder of Church on the Street and the Niger Food Bank. Itofa's story is something that inspires me every day because when you see someone when they are building and then you see the much results they've gotten over time, it inspires you. And so I'm really excited that he could make our time today to share, especially for students who have said to me on the WhatsApp group that they are passionate about XYZ and they want to just hear this story to see how they can begin to map out their life, having been inspired by his story. And I'm so excited to hear him today, to have him here today. And so we're just quickly going to remind these guys to join us live. I'm going to just go on the group now, remind them to join us. And if you are live here with us, please ensure that we see your comments coming up. We see your comments coming, and make sure you have your questions. I would advise that you take the time now to draft your questions, because after this conversation, you are going to have the opportunity to ask your question. And you don't want to be thinking of your question after this session, because the much we can take, we're going to take. And so if you don't have your questions written down, I know you're not going to be able to ask your questions in time. So I'm giving you just one tip right now. Write your questions down. Things you think that this session should answer for you, write it down. And so at the end of the session, if you do not have your questions answered, you are able to ask those questions. My name is Andrew Binereka, and I'm excited to be here. I'm the founder of Go a Bit Further Africa, where we are democratizing learning experiences like this. The goal is to bridge the learning and the skill gap between what students learn on campus or in class and the demand of the ever-evolving workspace. And that's why I'm excited to have Itofa here today to share with us, because he has been able to take his experience, as a student in the university, and is able to shape the trajectory of his life, telling the stories, reaching out to the underserved communities. And we're excited to hear his story today. Stay tuned. Do not go anywhere. I'm bringing him up now, guys. Do not go anywhere. See you shortly. Itofa Ivarah. So I'm going to quickly read his bio. So you get a handle. Maybe you're just hearing that name. As a matter of fact, if Itofa is going to be our president very soon, watch out. So I'm going to read his bio quickly. So Itofa Ivarah is a development consultant and a founder of two nonprofits in Nigeria, Church on the Street and My Niger Food Bank. His work involves designing community-led interventions to tackle food insecurity and increase access to immersive education for vulnerable children in Nigeria. Through his advocacy, Itofa has raised over $16,000 in funding to design sustainable solutions in education and food security. He is a TEDx speaker and a 2023 Shivini Scholar pursuing a master's in international development management at the University of Bradford, England. And we are excited to have Itofa join us today to share his story. If you have any question, make sure you write your questions down, right? Write your questions down. And if you've not subscribed to this YouTube channel, do well to subscribe to our channel. We have exciting conversations coming up. Our virtual campus tour commences on the 20th of this month, which is 2 days from now. Ensure that you are subscribed to this channel. And if you're not yet on our waiting, community, ensure to find the link on our bios on Instagram. You can find it on Instagram, you can find it on Facebook. Get it and then get signed up so that you get all the updates as they drop. Are you ready? Are you sure you're ready? If you're ready, I want to see comments. I want to see fire everywhere. I want to see fire everywhere. I want to see fire everywhere. Yes, always a great time learning from Itofa. Love what you're doing through this platform, Andrew. Awesome, awesome. We're excited to have you, Grace. Toluwalashe Oladipo. Please let us know where you're watching from. If you're watching from Nigeria, watching from Ghana, watching from the United States, watching from UK, let us know. We want to know where you're watching from. Itofa is pumped up already and is ready to give us fire. Please, I want to see your fire emoji coming. I want to see your fire emoji. Let me go and remind them on the WhatsApp group. I want to see your fire emoji, guys. I want to see your fire emoji. I want to see your fire emoji. We are live. We are live. We are live. We are live. Yes, 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 yes. I want to see your fire emoji. I want to see your fire emoji. Yes. Okay, great. So I'm going to bring up Itofa right now, and he's going to take us away. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, Grace is watching from Ireland. Oh, Grace. Kinde is here with us. Praise Chidima is here with us. Bidemi is here with us. Exciting, exciting, exciting. Yes, Itofa, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? So, guys, over to Itofa. I know you're excited to hear from him. I know you're excited to hear from me. It's very important that you have your questions down, guys. It's very important to have your questions. See fire everywhere. I love this energy. I love this energy. Bring it on, guys. Bring it on. Bring it on. Come on. Come on. So Itofa is going to be talking to us quickly, and you're going to have the opportunity to ask your questions. So please make sure you have your questions written. And if you're not yet subscribed to this channel, make sure you subscribe. We have some exciting conversations. And you know, one thing that we love to do here at Go a Bit Further is to stretch ourselves to reach out to people who have, impactful stories, people who have track record. We not just reach out to anybody. We reach out to people who have track record in the area that we are trying to communicate. And so we are excited to have Itofa here today. I know you are excited. I can see the fire coming. So Itofa, let's have you join us.
Thank you very much, Andre. Can you see me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Is it very audible?
Yes, yes, very
Awesome,
audible,
awesome,
very audible.
awesome,
It's
awesome,
great
awesome.
to have you.
I am super stoked, Andre. You are doing an incredible work. You know, my brother, I love you very much. It's an incredible opportunity to be here today to see how much of an impact that you've had. I mean, remember when we did Cloud Seven together back in Univen? These are stories that show that indeed these are stories that show that indeed we've been through a season of
Remember
building
very much. I
collectively
very much
together.
remember.
And now you're back in Nigeria doing the work you're doing. I'm here in England, pursuing a master's in international development, and that's what life in itself is about. And I'm super excited to be here today to talk to you people. Like you heard already, my name is Itofa Ivarah, and I'm a social entrepreneur. But the fun and the most coolest part about my work is the fact that I get the incredible opportunity to serve communities. So whether it's designing an intervention for families who are going to bed hungry, whether it's holistically looking at children who are out of school and creating a system that will ensure that children become better, that's what my work really revolves around. And that simple little trickle of seeds that I've been sowing for the past 5 years now brought me to England on a full scholarship today. And that's one of the things I'm going to be talking to you people about today, that look, never despise your little beginnings. Never ever despise your little beginnings. There's a tendency, especially if you live in Nigeria, like I lived in Nigeria for the most part of my life. There is that tendency for you to look at your environment and you want to just blow overnight. I mean, everybody wants to blow, everybody wants to succeed overnight. But the truth is this: success is a marathon, it's not a sprint. To become successful is a marathon, it's not a sprint. So if you're listening to me now, I want you to get a pen, get a paper, because I'm going to be sharing my own journey with you, and I'm going to be sharing the lessons that I've learned through the course of my journey, and you will find something you can glean from. You will find something that could literally change your life. I'll tell you guys a story. In 2020, I graduated from the University of Benin. My dream was to become a medical doctor. I wanted to become a doctor who would, I wanted to be like Dr. Ben Carson, become this incredible doctor, buy a white Mercedes Benz, live in a mansion, marry a beautiful wife. And every morning when I'm going to the office, I was like, baby, I've got some appointment waiting for me at the hospital. That was the kind of mindset I had. Guess what? University of Benin supposedly wanted to change my destiny. They threw me to the Faculty of Education. This young man you see right here read education in his first degree. And not just read education, I left with 2-2 in the Faculty of Education. And I'll tell you my story. And towards graduation, I was so petrified and I was so scared. What will the future hold for a person like me? I read education. If you are here in on this call tonight and you probably went to University of Benin or you studied in any other university in Nigeria, especially if it's a public university, you can resonate with what I'm trying to tell you, that if you're studying a course like education, what happens to you is the fact that you're most likely going to be relegated to the background. People look at you, and I even heard a professor at some point in my undergrad say to me that, is it not education people are reading? Get out of this place. That was how much relegation we experienced. We were second fidels in the same institution of learning that we're all studying in. But I told myself something, and this is the first point of call. If you're taking notes tonight, that I want you to remember, where you are currently does not define the trajectory of where you are going to. I'll take that again. Where you are today, if you're watching me from Nigeria, if you're watching me from Gabon, if you're watching me from in a hut and you borrow data to be on this call because Andre is a man of value, and you know that if any Andre organizes something, there's going to be a lot of value in it, and you chose to be on the call, you borrow data. Listen to me very clearly. Where you are today does not define where you're going to be tomorrow. Where you are today doesn't define how far you're going to go in your journey. However, the seeds you sow in this season of silence will determine the harvest you're going to reap when you get to the other end of the spectrum. And so I was thrown to read education. My first 2 years on campus, I was planning my escape strategy from the Faculty of Education. I didn't like the professors. I didn't like the lecturers. I didn't even like my colleagues. I just wanted to get out of that place and go to medicine. So I'm sure you know what TDB is now, Andre. It's till daybreak. You know, when you carry your bags and you go and try to study all night in class. When every time I did that, and I would see all the students who were reading, who were medical students, I always felt very bad for myself. I'd be like, man, I should be this guy. I should be here. What am I doing in education? I would self-loathe and all that stuff. Stay with me. I'm going somewhere with my story. What I didn't understand was that going into education was going to form my threshing floor for where God was taking me today. And so what currently looks like a situation for you, could it be there is something God wants you to learn in that season? Could it be that you're supposed to be learning how to slay your Goliath today, starting with little chores and little tasks before you get to the other end of the road? I was, look at the story of David, for instance. David kept slaying bears and lions. He didn't know that a time will come when he will become the king in Israel. Not just a king, but he will be ascribed in the genealogy of Jesus. David, today we say the city of David, we call King David Jesus. We call Jesus the son of David. But this guy at some point in his life was in a place where he was slaying only bears and lions. What if he hadn't sharpened the sword in those seasons? I'm building momentum for my story. I'm going somewhere. Stay with me. Are you getting value tonight? Are you enjoying my story by any chance? Let me see the comment section. Talk to me. Are you already enjoying my story? We're building up to something. We're building up to something. And so even in that faculty, I told myself one day, Itofa, if I am not going to get into medicine, how about I focus on becoming the best educator in the world? How about I focus on becoming the best version of Itofa? Not whatever the University of Benin wanted to produce. How about I focus on becoming the best version? And so what happened was I began to buy books. I would buy books, maybe my last 700 naira, 600 naira. They would have book fairs at University of Benin main gate. I would buy books on relationship, on faith, on career, on personal development. And then one particular day, a man called Dr. Akanimo Odon came to the Faculty of Life Science, where I was taking a module in animal and environmental biology. And when he came into that class, he said something. He said, I stayed in this class. He said, this is what he said. He said, in this class was where I did my undergrad. But today I'm an associate professor at the University of Lancaster. Something happened to me. First of all, I was trying to run away from this course. And now a guy is coming to tell me that he's now an associate professor from the same course that I was running away from. A light bulb moment happened to me. And that was the day I told myself, whatever it will take, I will get to the end of the road of this journey. My second point I want to make tonight, so everybody on the call is this: how far can you see? How far? I want you to type it in the box. Put your name, Itofa. How far can you see? Andre, how far can you see? Type in the chat box. Write your name. How far can you see? I want to see the chat box popping up. I can see the chat box on my end here. But how far can you see really? Because the distance of the sight with which your current eyes can perceive, will determine how far you will go. Many of you can't see past because deeply entrenched in you is scarcity and poverty. And I say this all the time: poverty is not the absence of money in your bank account. Poverty is not the absence of money in your pocket. Poverty is the absence of dreams in your heart. Poverty is the absence of dreams in your heart. Many people do not have that ability to dream because they let their current reality form the internal programming for where they are going to. I want to ask you a question. What is the cost of dreaming? What does it cost, Victory, to see yourself going to Harvard University tomorrow? And this is not one of those aspire to inspire conversations. We're having a heart-to-heart talk. What does it cost you, Victory, to see yourself in Harvard tomorrow? Nothing. It doesn't cost you anything to dream. Why are people not dreaming? They are not dreaming because they let their reality form the precursor for where they are going to. In my second year, I told God, I said, God, you will pay for my master's. You were not there. Andre was not there. All these people on YouTube were not there. But today, I'm in England on a full scholarship from Chevening. How far can you see? There were semesters as an undergrad where I resumed a semester with 5,000 naira. A semester is 4 months. How do you survive with 5,000 naira for 4 months? I remember this particular day I came into my apartment and I opened the door and I just cried. I cried. I said, God, how long will this be? And then I said to myself, nations will come. Nations will come. Nations will come. It's not the elemental force or the limitations around you that's currently stopping you. It's the lack of skill that you have to maximize what you currently have. My mentor, Fela, he said to me one time, said, Itofa, it's not what you currently have that's stopping you. It's the things you have that you're not maximizing that's limiting you from going to the next place. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Who would have believed a guy, Itofa Ivarah? His mother is a tailor. His father is a civil servant. Who would have believed that a guy like myself would live in this realm today? The reason is because God doesn't care about what your background is. God just wants you to dream and he will fund it. And this is a clarion call for everybody who is listening, whether you're a student, you're a working class person, whether you live in Nigeria, you live in America, have a dream and God will fund it. Because God isn't looking in heaven and saying, oh my gosh, our money in GT Bank account has finished, our money in Access Bank has finished. Oh, Angel Gabriel, how much do we have left in GTB? How much do we have left in Access Bank? That's not your God. He owns a cattle upon 1,000 hills. Why are you limiting him? 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 I dare you today to dream. Dream big. Take the ceiling off your mind. Take the ceiling off your mind. Do you know that there are Nigerians today who are professors in universities in America? Do you know today that there are Nigerians who are sitting in legislative houses in the White House? If it can happen for one person, it means that same ripple effect can happen to you. Your job is to dream. So I ask you again, how far can you see? How far? Close your eyes. How far can you see, Itofa? Do you see the nations, or do you see the small place you are living? Or are you seeing Okada men around you? Or are you seeing the small huts you are living in? How far can you see? Let me tell you, A man called Stephen R. Covey carried out an incredible research. In that research, he discovered that there's what you call the law of double creation. And he went on to say that everything you currently see now is a product of an internal conversation. This conversation we are having now is a product of the law of double creation. I'm going to break it down to you. Do you know that the phone or the computer you're currently using to join this conversation is not as real as the thought you have in your mind? I'll prove it to you. Whether you're using a laptop to join this conversation or whether you're using a computer or a phone, that device is not as real as the thought you have in your mind. Let me prove it to you. Was there ever a time when you thought about buying this device you currently have? The minute you thought about this device, that, oh my gosh, I want to get an iPhone 15, I want to buy a MacBook Pro, a MacBook Air, or I want to buy a Samsung Galaxy, the day you conceive that thought in your mind, that thought produce the device you're currently holding. So does it mean that the thought in your mind is more real than the device in your hand? Stephen R. Covey said that thought in your mind is real than the device, is more real than the device in your hand. Here's what poor people do. Poor people neglect their thoughts. Poor people neglect their thought process. They let their thought process go by chance. When you see a poor man, he's not worried about what he's listening to. He's not worried about the environment he's in. Everything is all right. Let's just go. Let's just enter. Let's just go. Let's just go. But when you see a wealthy man, again, wealth is not because you have money in your bank. Wealth is not because you have money in your pocket. Wealth is a function of the dreams that you are nurturing in your heart. That's what makes you a wealthy person. I'm not wealthy because I've got $1 million in my bank account. I'm wealthy because I have dreams that I'm nurturing in my heart. So next time you see yourself flying business class, going to speak in France, don't throw that vision away. That vision is more real than the phone you are holding now. A wealthy man would think about that thought and say, Lord, I believe. I may not have an international passport. I may not have any family member that's ever entered an aeroplane, but God, I believe you. A poor man will tell you, Baba, forget that thing. How many people for here don't travel? Forget that thing, Jare. Baba, you know, say that Nigeria we did. You better wake up. That's a poor man. Run away from him. Did you not read in your Bible? I'm a man of faith, so pardon me, if there are Muslims on this call. We call for those things which be not as though they were. We create things that don't exist. So it goes back to the question, everything you want to see, you see, abundance and scarcity is a function of your thought process. Why do you think you are always lacking? You are always lacking because that's what you focus on. When you have 1,000 naira left, you focus on the fact that you have only 1,000 naira left. If I have only 1,000 naira left, I will focus on all of the abilities that this 1,000 naira can produce and not all the limitations it cannot produce. Can you see perspective? Lord, I thank you that I have 1,000 naira. You breathe upon this 1,000 naira, it will have a result of 10,000 naira. And you'll be shocked that how much this 1K didn't even finish. And somebody blessed me. You got an attitude and a disposition. That's the difference between a poor man and a rich man. Poor people focus on physical work. Physical, they just want to, if it's not physical activity, if it's not gingering, if it's not this, they don't want to do. They won't. But a rich man sits down and declutters his mental and his cerebral hemisphere. Pardon my biological terms. You see, wealthy people, they focus on their internal environment more than their external environment. I'm telling you the secret of great men. Poor people, it's iPhone 15. If it's not iPhone 15, I'm not using. If it's not bone straight, I'm not wearing. If it's not, but a wealthy man will tell you, bro, you know what? Baba, this is my last money, but I want to buy data. I want to listen to Vusi Tembakwayo on YouTube. I want to listen to Vusi. Andre has one YouTube, this thing that just dropped. That guy, man, I've heard about that guy. I want to go and listen to him. Like, this is my last data. This is money I want to. Do you know a great man called Robin Sharma said this? Do you know you can wake up and have breakfast with Oprah Winfrey. You can have lunch with Barack Obama. You can have dinner with Mahatma Gandhi. Do you know how you do that? By exposing yourself to their environment. Stop looking at your limitations. Stop focusing on your external. Start to look at your internal environment. Where am I internally? Am I internally cluttered up, clogged? Is my internal creativity environment clogged up with scarcity, with mediocrity, with low self-esteem, with lack of excellence, with lack of self-love? All of these things are factors that limit you and put you in a pedestal. You cannot break through a threshold. There is no demon that is tying your destiny anywhere. By the way, no demon can tie you. Do you know no demon can tie you? I'll prove it to you. Am I saying demons do not exist? They do exist, but they can't tie you. Demons function at the realm of your ignorance. That's why they like darkness. They call them darkness. What you don't know, they will use it to torture you. Do you know that there are certain people that can never be poor in their lifetime? And it's not because they have economical skill. They've just cracked the code. Ignorance is what's separating a lot of successful people and from a lot of people who are struggling in life. Ignorance. So everybody who's listening to me on this conversation tonight, very simple thing that I'm sharing with you. You can go from ground and get to the top, and you don't need to know anybody. Now I'm going to share my story with you guys. So I started off by telling you that in 2020, I wanted to go to the become a medical doctor, pursue and read medicine. That was my dream, but I'm glad I didn't get it. God was rerouting my path, right? But one of the most incredible things that happened to me was the fact that I had this idea and inclination from God to start an organization called Church on the Streets. Mind you, I was 18 going on 19. I was in my second year and I had only 4,000 naira I had saved in the bank account. And in my mind, I just like, you know what? I want to be a difference maker. I want to be able to be part of people's story. I want to be part of people's success story. I want to encourage. I just want to be a blessing, right? That's how successful people think. You're not always coming to people and thinking, what can you take from them? You ask yourself, what can I bring to the table? Because what you bring to the table is what will separate you and single you out from the crowd. And so I started this initiative with my friends, Success, Yvonne, on all my friends. We started this organization called Church on the Street. Little did we know that this organization we started would change our lives forever. I went from being a hungry kid to becoming the kid who was feeding hungry people. I went from being a hungry kid to starting a food bank. I went from being a hungry kid to winning an achievement scholarship. I went from being a hungry kid to becoming a TEDx speaker. I went from being a hungry kid to becoming an Oxfam Hunger Heroes champion. Anything is possible. Great things can come out of small places. As a kid, my mother said to me, Itofa, we could not afford to buy you baby food. I remember that there were times in my secondary school where they threw me out because of school fees. In my SS1, my parents could not pay my tuition because we didn't have the money. In my third year, I couldn't buy rice of 250 naira from Buka in basement. But I was founder of Church on the Street. And this was in 2019. But every single time I lived in those seasons, I reminded myself, this does not define my future. It only makes the story sweeter. So that when Aro Kende hears my story tomorrow, he will know that there is no limitation, there is nothing that can stop me. So when men like Andre, who have critically been part of the early story, when they tell other people, they'll be like, bro, I'm telling you, this stuff happens is real. There were people who looked down on me. There were people who laughed at me. They didn't know that they were laughing at a season and not laughing at the man. There are people right now who are looking at you, they are laughing at you. They are not laughing at you, they are laughing at the season you are in. But that's not the end. That's not where God will leave you. Did you not read? It says the path of a righteous man is like a shining star. It shines brighter and brighter and brighter unto a perfect day. Look, you are going somewhere to happen. That people will begin to say, man, I know her. I know her. She's my friend. She's my friend. You know, there are certain people that be like, I know him now. You'll be posting their pictures because by associating with them, it gives you some level of credibility. That's what God can do with your life. So what does it take to go from ground up? I said three things fundamentally. You must protect your mind. You must protect your mind. Notice I didn't say commit to mental transformation. I started off by saying protect your mind. How do you protect your mind? What are the conversations happening around you? If someone is always telling you Nigeria is hard, do you know that there are people succeeding in Nigeria? I came from Nigeria here. I didn't come from America here. I came from Nigeria to England. In the same Nigeria, everybody's shouting. That's where I came from. And there are more people that will still come from Nigeria and go and do global stuff. And I want to put a caveat to this. I say this all the time. Reject the mentality of Japa. The mentality of Japa is a demonic mentality, and I'll prove it to you. When you Japa, you are in survival mode. Hear me. When you Japa, you are in survival mode. People who are Japaing from Nigeria are leaving Nigeria to go to wherever they are going to in survival mode. Once you enter the place you are going to in survival mode, I promise you, you will be small in that territory. So I came up with a concept called global mobility. Global mobility. I am not Japan. I did not Japan. I left Nigeria, came to study to find global mobility and global expression for the assignment God has called me. So if you are in that boat, you're thinking about leaving Nigeria to go and study or leaving Nigeria to relocate, that God told you to, listen to me. Reject the Japa mentality, because I'm telling you, I've lived in England and I'm telling you for a fact, the people you are envying in Nigeria, oh my God, this person has traveled, they are small here. But the people who sat down and said, God, I don't want to Japa. I want to find global expression. They are the ones thriving here. So change your vocabulary today. You're not a Japa asset. You are leaving Nigeria to find global expression and global mobility for the work God has committed to your hands. So it's global mobility, not Japa. Everybody write it in the caption. It is global mobility, not Japa. It is global mobility, not Japa. Because a lizard in Nigeria will be an ant in the UK. A lizard in Nigeria will be a termite in America. I'm telling you guys from experience. So before you prepare yourself mentally from the country where you are currently in right now, tell yourself, I'm not a Japa product. I'm leaving Nigeria to find global mobility, global expression. And when you go to those places, you begin to identify opportunities because you left with a mindset to be a global asset. Are you getting value tonight? Are you getting value tonight? Are you getting value tonight? I want to see feedback. Are you getting value tonight, people? I can't see the comment section, sadly. Oh, great. I can see the comment section now. Oh, I can see the comment section now. It's global mobility, not Japa. Yes, Esther. On a victory or Yinoloa, Bidemi. Yes, yes, I can see the comment section now. That's what I'm talking about. It's global mobility, not Japa. Don't Tell yourself, I'm not part of those people who are, I am a global asset. I, Itofa Ivarah. Everybody writes in the comment section, I put your name, Itofa Ivarah. I am a global asset. The world may not know my name. I may not have international passport. I may not even know where the airport is in my territory, but my God, I am a global asset. I have what nations need. I have what kings need. Kings come to the brightness of my rising. I have what kings and nations need. Write it, write it, write it, write it. Except you want to be small in your generation. Put it in the comment section. I am a global asset. Itofa, Ivarah, I am a global asset. I am a global asset. I don't know about you, but that's what I am. I am a global asset. I am a global. Oh, I can see my brother Nelson. I am a global asset. I am a global asset. You see, do you know that the things you call yourself now will become your reality tomorrow? The things you call yourself now will become your reality tomorrow. You may be wearing one shoe. There was a time in my life, right now I have so many shoes. If I want to wear different shoes from Sunday to Sunday, I can wear different shoes from Sunday to Sunday. But do you know there was a season in my life, I had one pair of shoe. I wore it so much that it had holes under. I had one black trouser. I ironed the gator out of the life. That trouser ironing changed the trouser from black to ash color. And I had one check long sleeve and one red inner shirt. I wore those clothes every Sunday, every Sunday, every Sunday, every Sunday. And I wish God, why am I not like, why did you not give birth to me in a rich family? Why is it me? Why is it me? Me. I'm now the one that would have to be wearing one cloth every Sunday. Are you truly a fair God? Little did I know that in my assignment, God was sending me to the nations. Little did I know that in my assignment, a food bank was trapped inside me. Little did I know that in my assignment, there was a book locked up inside me. And so many of you right now, do not define your tomorrow by your present reality. Because where you are now is not a function of where God is taking you to. However, it's your threshing floor, it's your training ground. It takes God nothing. It takes God nothing. Let me see the comments. Yes, I have some incredible people in this community. It takes God nothing to change your life. So I'm encouraging somebody who is like Itofa, or who feels like, man, I can resonate with your story, bro. I'm here to tell you that the days you are in is a preparation for the days God is taking you to. But you can't go from where you are now to where God is taking you to if you don't commit to internal transformation. Look, the most precious commodity you have is not your phone, it's not your computer, it's not even the degree you have. The most precious commodity you have is your internal environment. Is your internal environment. Is your look. I want you to hug yourself like this and say, I am for the nations. I am for the nations. I am for the nations. Hug yourself, hug yourself. Tell you, hug it's your nobody's hug yourself, hold yourself like this. I am for the nations. I am for the nations. I am for the nations. Nobody may know my name today. Nobody may know my name today, but I am for the nations. You would order my path. You would order and orchestrate events in my life that would change me. I would walk into the right rooms. I am for the nations. Let me tell you, the people you are envying, and I won't call anybody's name. I know some people you will follow on Instagram and you want to be like her, right? She's traveling all over the place. She's my very good friend and sister. I won't call her name, you know. In fact, let me just call her name, the Global Tammy. Everybody knows the Global Tammy. She inspires all of us. But I want to tell you that even at the realm that my very good and beautiful sister, the Global Tammy, is operating in, she's still praying these prayers. She's still praying these prayers. because there is never an arrival point. When you get there, what is next? Jesus said, look, you're a city set on a hill. They didn't say you are a local government. They didn't say you are a state. He said you are a city, a whole city set on a hill. What? First of all, let's break this ambiguous statement down. A city, a hill. For you to look at anything that's placed on a hill, it means you have to elevate your vision, right? So it means what God wants to do with you, He wants to put you on top. And then He calls you a city. What are the characteristics of the features that make up a city? We're looking at development, we're looking at economic growth, we're looking at rapid industrialization, we are looking at improved standard of living to some level. That's what makes up a city. And God says that's who you are. It means the finance, the health, the relationship, the influence, everything will come to you. And then the nations will look at you and they say, we need somebody who's been working with children in Nigeria, who's been working with young people in Nigeria. We were trying to build a panel to develop a policy draft for the whole of sub-Saharan Africa. And we want you guys to come to the White House and be part of the project. Who in Nigeria can you guys refer us? And they'll say there's a young man called Andre Biniweka. He's been working with youth for the past 10 years. He has deep level resources. Bring him on board to the team. That's how he starts. But he starts by being faithful with little platforms like this. Maybe I don't know how many people are on this call, maybe 10, maybe 5, maybe 3 people are on the YouTube live. But God is going to watch how faithful is this young man. Can I entrust him with more? And this trickles down to everybody on this call. How faithful in the things God has committed to you. Some of you, God told you, write a book. Write a book. And you are all the things you think about is how incapable you are. And you haven't started. It's 2 years, fam. You haven't started. God will take that gift and give it to somebody else. I want to challenge somebody here. It's not what you don't have that is stopping you. It's the things you currently have, but you're not making the most out of it. So what do you have? You don't have a laptop, but you have a phone. What can you do with your phone? I can write. Oh, okay. What else? I have this business idea, but I don't have capital. What can you do? Can you start to volunteer or intern and serve your gifts? Okay, I want to start an NGO. I don't like seeing blind people on the streets. But I don't have money. I don't know how to fundraise. What can you do? Look for an NGO helping blind people. Go there. I say, Master, if you need anything, call me. Call me. I'm available anytime. God's justice system will not allow you remain small. I don't even know what story I'm going to tell you guys now. There are so many stories that have happened to me. I don't even know which one to pick from to tell you. Holy Spirit, help me. Okay, I'll tell you guys this story. So I started a company called ID Consulting in my final year as an undergrad in Nigeria, and people were just paying me peanuts to consult for them. You know, peanuts, want to pay me here. But I would pour my heart. I would pour my heart to consult for them, develop policy draft, develop needs assessment, sit down, develop a whole project framework, program framework for implementation. I was doing all these things for free. You know, I'll get in speaking engagements, you know, I'll go there, I'll speak for free, they won't pay me anything. Sometimes just say, thank you, sir. We bless God. God bless you. Yeah. But all of those things I was doing. I was slaying the bear. I was slaying the bear. On my first week in England, I had the incredible opportunity of being selected by One UK to become one of their community leaders. And in that event, they were literally, of course, you already know that the United Kingdom is a melting pot for global leaders from across the world. And One is a global activist organization who's tackling issues of poverty and preventable disease, you know. And I said, you know what? I got selected, I got invited, long story cut short. And we had a residential event. And that residential event, they needed people to come and speak at the event. And I got your slot to come and speak. Guess what? What they wanted me to come and speak about in the United Kingdom were things that I've been doing as a consultant in Nigeria. Now, the dynamics were different because now I was talking to experts. I was talking to people who have been in the field. I was talking to people who probably have their masters, finishing masters. I was talking to people who it was a mix. So a part of me like, man, bro, do you have what it takes to speak in this event? I said, forget it. I'm a Niger guy. I have the Holy Ghost in me. I will run this thing. Went in there and gave the best 30 minutes presentation of my life. When I finished, one of the girls came up, walked up to me and she said, man, your presentation was so good. These were the things they were teaching me in my masters. I said, wow, very good. People started writing to me back and forth. What am I saying in essence? I'm wrapping up now. Every single thing you are doing in your season when nobody's looking at you, you're preparing for the global stage. And I just want to say this to you. Where you are now is not a defining point of where God is taking you to. It's only a part of the process. So keep working, keep building, and get ready for the nations. Thank you, people.
Whoa, 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 whoa. That's powerful. I know you got value, guys. I want to see the fire emoji. I want to see the fire emoji, guys. I want to see the fire emoji. I want to see the fire emoji. I want to see the fire emoji. Where are the fire emoji? Yes, 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 yes. And if you have questions, do well to ask your questions. Do well to ask your questions. Just drop your questions in the comment, and I'm going to just highlight the questions, and then we'll dig right into it. If you have your questions, please. Yes, yes, yes. I love this. I love this. I love this. I love this. Get your questions ready. So, Itofa, how has it been? How has it
Yeah,
been over there?
Martin. So I know I was telling you earlier that it's really cold.
Yeah.
But however, it what this system does for you is that it pushes you beyond your limits. So for instance, now doing my master's now, I'm studying international development. I'm having to critique and analyze development theories that go way back as the 1800s. So we're looking at textbooks as like this, and you have to read, you have to write, you have to do all the stuff. But beyond that, I mean, when you define where you are going to, it gives you that opportunity to meet with people. I have friends who are from India, I have friends who are from Libya, I have friends who are from Colombia, Bangladesh. It just gives you that opportunity to expand your network. So yeah, but it's honestly, I would not trade this experience for anything. I really, really love it and I'm grateful.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. It's great to have you join us. So I'll just check quickly whether we have any questions. And if we don't have any questions, if we don't have any questions, we're just going to call it a night. I can see the fire emojis. I can see the fire emojis. I think
You guys
what you've
ask
shared.
questions, so successful people ask questions.
Yes, so and from all that you shared today, you know, being that at some point we
Yeah. Oh
at some
yes.
point in your journey, because I
Yeah.
wasn't there in the beginning,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
some point in your journey, I know that I had the opportunity to hear you share, the challenges,
Yeah.
projects and everything. And it's really exciting to see, the changes that has happened between that time and now, right?
Yeah.
And it's really exciting to hear you and to see, God do what He's doing intentionally with your life, and it kind of validates what we've been talking about. I go a bit further for
Mm,
the past 5 years, right?
mm,
For the past 5 years, we've been saying the same thing. We at some point we tell students, okay, the university
mm,
is designed in a way that it's more or
mm.
less like nobody cares about
No, nobody cares,
the
bro.
outcome. Nobody
Mm,
cares about the outcome of your life. They've designed a
absolutely.
system for you to imagine how many people gain admission to enter a university, and you
Mm,
think that they would design that system in such a way that it attends to
yeah.
the unique needs of
Let
everyone.
me let me
No.
let me shock you, Andrew. Let me shock you. One of the most profound things I heard Dr. Miles Monroe said. Dr. Miles Monroe said that education was designed by the oppressor to keep the oppressed oppressed. Have you asked yourself why history is not part of Nigerian's curriculum, number one? Have you asked yourself why the things you learn is not practically applied, especially in Africa? Or do you know here the things I learn is literally every day you could go out and apply it. So you realize that you are raising half-baked people. So if you don't commit to personal development, being part of communities like this, I promise you, when you get out, you're going to have to start teaching yourself. And as young people, time is your greatest asset. Now is the time to pray. Now is the time to fast. Now is the time that you don't have a wife or husband or relationship to buy the books, burn the candle, watch the YouTube videos. Who are your top 5 mentors on YouTube that you listen to? Or is it Sabino's, this thing you are watching every day? Then you're not going to be mentally transformed. When they call you to global platforms, you just be saying, "Oh, Oga Sabino," say that's all you'll be saying. I mean, no shades to Sabino's, but just context here.
Okay, okay, awesome, awesome. So we have questions. We have Ahunam Chidima asking her questions, and she's saying, "What do you do when community volunteerism takes you to remote communities?"
Hmm.
I think that's a really
So,
interesting question.
okay, what do you do when so I don't understand where she's coming from, but if I get what you're saying is what do you do if I mean that's why you volunteered, I'm guessing. Maybe you want to rephrase your question, Chidima. Are you saying that I don't understand the question? What do you do when community volunteerism? So it depends on what your
Okay,
passion is. If you're
so
volunteering for church, okay.
I think from what I understand, I think she's saying, how do you manage, volunteering with an organization that goes to rural communities?
Ah,
The insecurity, I believe.
okay,
But if I'm
okay,
not explaining it well, I think Chidima, you provide
correct. Context.
more context to your
Okay,
question.
so first of all, when you're volunteering, you're asking yourself, what is my vision for my life? You're not just volunteering because they say volunteer, volunteer. What is your vision? Do you see yourself as a person who wants to work in the global development space? Do you see yourself as a person who wants to work in the data part? Do you see yourself as a person who wants to become an actor and a movie star? These are the things that would inform why you volunteer. So if your passion is, oh, I want to see grassroots community development, then there it's you cannot it's not you cannot separate it from going to communities. So I think you just weigh your options and see if it's something you are really passionate about. If there's insecurity, then you move it, you change it. If there's no insecurity, then that's what I'm going to say. But if you're really passionate about grassroots development, then you definitely want to explore that. Love your glasses, bro.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So we have another question. Okay, so Chidima is saying that, please, what would you say if an opportunity seems risky, but it's community impacting and may propel your career? Would you
Don't
say go for it or leave it?
no, don't go. If you can see that it's risky, don't. There will be other opportunities that will come, please. There's
Awesome.
no look, don't put your life in danger in the name of building career. There are other opportunities that will come, please.
Yeah. Okay, so T Blee is asking, she's saying, or he's saying, honestly though, many have dreams and it gets tough. How do
Yeah.
you encourage yourself as people turn you down? How do you encourage yourself, especially those closest to you at that moment? I know you had
Yeah.
some of those experiences if you want to share.
Yeah. So this one I'm going to share. There was a girl I was talking to at that time in my second year. I love this girl. My dream was to marry her, make her my wife. And then she sat me down and she said, young man, is it NGO work you want to use to take care of your wife and children? That was the last time I heard from her. So that should answer your question. So you must find community around yourself. I had friends, Yvonne, Success, Hope. We used to pray together. Nelson, we used to pray together in Basement Field in Uniden. These were my community. These were the people that when we are together, we physically we're in Uniben, but mentally we have traveled with our conversation. So you want a community, at least have someone who is holding the church. I say, look, if you're getting tired, look at Chidima, look at this person, get a community around yourself. And sometimes it's harder when the families you have around yourself are are not really supporting the dream. It's harder, but then you need to build what you call mental Teflon. You need to build an armor around yourself that what they are saying is not getting to you. Yes, man, I will do
Yeah.
what you say, but in your heart, have a vision board, bro. Get a vision board. Get a vision board. A vision board. Put the dream car, put your dream wife, put your dream house, put the things you want to see. Feed your mind. Have an internal compass that guides you where you are going to. If I ask you next year, what are your goals for next year? 5 things you want to achieve next year. You will now be saying, If you ask me what are the top 3 things you want next year, I will just tell you for my dream. And then I'll start planning and working towards it. That's how it is. So please get a community. If you don't have a community right now, ask God, say, God, please send me people who will love me more than I love myself, who will commit to my growth. And sometimes these people will not look like, when you think about stuff, you think, oh, it's somebody like Itofa, God will send your way, or somebody like Andrew. It could just be a guy next door. He doesn't even speak good English.
Yeah.
But this guy always will just be encouraging you, or this mama or this papa will just be encouraging you. Just be discerning for the season you are in. All right,
Powerful.
Patrick.
Powerful. Yes, yes. Okay, so we have another question before we call it a
All
night.
right.
We'll be out very soon. So, how were you able to do it, seeing that most of these things you started were from
Yeah.
an early age, any
Yeah.
stage in the industry?
Yeah. So just to put it in context, I started when I was 18, 19, Uniben, 200 level. Honestly, I'm not going I told you guys I graduated with a 2-2 when I started, right? Because in my mind, in my spirit, I gave it everything I had. However, I knew that I would not use this degree. And so with all the confidence, we'll have tests tomorrow. Don't try it, oh, please don't try it. We'll have tests tomorrow. I'll be reading Dr. Miles Moreau's book tonight. Because I knew in my spirit that look, this thing will not enter. This thing I'm doing. So, but I gave it my best though, and I only with 0.1 I would have been in 2-2. Long story, I got 4 cases, yada yada yada. But to answer the question, how was I able to do it? The grace, the God factor played a critical role. That one I'm not going to lie. God's factor played a very big role. And then number 2, I was a dreamer. I've always been a dreamer. I'm still a dreamer. And I love learning stuff, learning new stuff. So I would always put myself in rooms that would make me learn, serve, I was intentional, so that way I was 5 steps ahead of my peers. When my peers were thinking about, oh, we have tests tomorrow, me, I'm thinking about if I get invited to come and speak in this place, how will I teach them these concepts? So when my friends were thinking about matriculation gown, I was already asking myself, what's next after graduation? When my friends were excited about graduation, I was already asking myself, how do I get a scholarship for my master's? So that way, I was already, I was already in front. So even right now, I'm doing my master's, I'm already asking myself, this wife, updates, where is she? That's so that's the story.
Let me lay my hands. Let me lay my hands on you.
I receive it.
Oh.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, bro.
Okay, so I'm excited about your story. It's going to be it's just the beginning of what's to come,
Amen,
right? It's
sir.
just the beginning
Amen.
of what's to come.
Amen. Hmm.
So okay, we've asked this, and I think that's all we have. Yes,
Awesome.
I think that's all the questions we have. Thank you very much, Itofa. Thank you very much. I look forward to more exciting time
Bro.
together.
Also, I can't wait to connect with you in London, bro, when you're around.
Oh, very soon.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
Very, very soon.
Yeah.
No, we'll share that testimony.
Yeah, definitely, bro.
Well, so
Definitely.
thank you very much for agreeing to doing this. The
My pleasure,
community is
sir.
excited. We are going to have this, on our YouTube channel, so you can share to your friends, you can
Absolutely,
share
bro.
to your
Absolutely.
community, and those persons who could not join us today would join us for the replay. Thank you very
Awesome, man.
much.
Thanks,
Have
bro.
an amazing rest.
God bless you guys. God bless everyone in the community. Thank you so much. Follow me on social media, Itofa Ivarah everywhere,
Yes,
LinkedIn,
yes, 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 yes,
Instagram,
yes, yes.
Twitter.
Very important. Very important. So, guys,
Yeah.
I'm going to put up Itofa's handle.
Yeah.
I'm going to put up Itofa's handle. As a matter of fact, if you just go on Google Self and search Itofa
You go
Ivarah,
for you'll find some useful content. I mean, you could also just go
yes,
on YouTube, watch, everything that relates to my life, listen to all the podcasts. Let me
yeah,
tell you guys this story before I run away. So when I find
yeah,
somebody who really inspires me, what I do is I go and Google their name. Anything I see about them, video, I will sit down and I will listen. And I've been privileged by the grace of God to be in a couple of podcasts. Just Google Itofa Ibarra, listen to them. I've shared more insights, more details, more stories. Listen, you just never know, one thing you will hear that will spark a fire. I heard somebody that sparked a fire in me. So God bless you guys. Have the most restful evening, everyone. Andre, love you, my brother. Have a lovely night. Regards to our Yawo. God bless you.
yeah. Sure, sure. So, guys, follow Itofa. Follow Itofa on the username on the screen right now. Follow Itofa on Instagram. He's on Twitter. He's on Facebook. You can simply just search Itofa Ivara on Google, and you're going to find everything about him. Thank you for staying to this point. If you've not registered, please do well to register. Join us in the waiting room. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to this YouTube channel so you don't miss anytime we go live. Right. Thank you very much and have a blessed evening.